Let's play some hockey. Tonight.
Energetic, passionate, and savvy. Gouche Live. Brought to you by the good people at the Hockey News and Sports Illustrated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Gouche.
I'm Kerry Goulet, better known as the Gouche. Listen, just want to say hello to everybody out there. What a great day. Listen, Gouche Live is launched. Of course, Paul Rosen with the Rosen Report. We are expecting Bernie Nicholls, so we're hoping that he makes it here. We have not seen him yet in the green room, but that's okay. I've got a lot of reporting to do for you. Listen, Jets place Dubois on the IR. How do you think Torts is feeling right now at this particular moment? Think he's enjoying it? I'm not sure. He's probably basking in the sun, as they say. And what about McDavid? He's on the cusp of 500 career points. Last couple games, he's been a little bit off. I know Draisaitl hasn't put anything up yet, so we're a little bit worried about it. But you know what? That other German kid, Stützle, you know who they're comparing him to? Marian Hossa. What a great comparison. I love Marian Hossa. Thought he was one of the best European players all around that came over here. Just a class guy, hard worker, could do it all. And you know what? There are some similarities. Carries the puck the same way, protects the puck the same way. So wow, what a great call out. Hey, Toronto Maple Leafs. I know people are calling you out. I know they're upset. They're starting to say some things about, is this the team that can stay? Okay, we've all had it. I've been in games where we're up 6-1 with 12 minutes to go. We lose. We lost 7-6. The Tide went at 5-1. Everything's great. You know what? Then all of a sudden, boom. 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. I lost the faceoff to allow them to get 6-6, and they won it with a minute to go, 7-6. I got one of the all-time greatest goal scorers, 70 goals in the NHL. Only 7 other guys have done it in the NHL. Don't forget that. And we're going to ask Bernie. We'll get Bernie to tell us if he knows who the others are. I bet you he does. No, I'm going to go 50. I say he doesn't. No, I say he does. No, I say he doesn't. So we'll see if he does. I'm sure he does. And if we put him on the spot, oh, well, Bernie, you should have known it in the first place. But let's talk. I'll talk to him a little bit about the Leafs. I know that's not his team, but I'll talk to him about it. How did they blow a 5-1 lead? And I'm going to ask him if he's ever been on a team where that once that momentum switches, and even as even at 5-2 and they score that short-handed goal at the end, you just felt the momentum shift. And sometimes you just can't stop it. So we'll get an opportunity to talk to Bernie Nicholls. Hey, as he comes up, don't forget, Bernie Nicholls played over 1,000 games in the National Hockey League. 1,000, count them out. Let's look here. Played 1,127 games. Yesterday with Ron Duguay, he said, why don't they include playoffs? So I'm just going to look down. I should have done that today. He played 89 playoff games. Nope. We're going to find that out. Sorry. We'll check that out in a second. We'll ask him. Maybe he knows. Maybe he's rehearsed the show. He knows his own history. We'll talk to him. So forget all the stuff I'm talking about. Let's bring him up because that's who you want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Nicholls.
Bud, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, before we get started, I'm going to right off the bat because I got a lot of people guessing because I said I've got one of only 8 that scored 70 goals. Am I putting you on the spot? Or can you name the other 7?
Yeah, I've been asked that many times, so I can, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Obviously, Gretz, Lemieux, Hull, Yari.
Which
Curry.
one? Hang on, which one?
Oh, the golden boy, Brett.
All right.
He did it like 3 years in a row. He scored 76 or something in a row. Just ridiculous.
Sick. Oh, 76 is a big number, too.
Yeah.
Somebody scored 76.
Well, Timo scored 76 his first year, if you can imagine that.
Yeah, crazy.
That's unbelievable. McGillney.
Yep.
How many we at?
You got one more. And they were brothers, so make sure you get the right brother.
You mean Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, it'd be tough for him to score 70, but you never know.
Hey, listen, obviously, we know that you played 1,127 games. There's a lot of things. A lot of people can go online and know all about Bernie Nicholls, an unbelievable hockey player. Played for the LA Kings is where I remember you most in that. How beautiful was that gold jersey?
Yeah. They did that. The third jersey was the kind of the purple, the road one, which I think's much better. And I liked actually the one before us in the 70s is kind of the one that I like the best. But yeah, it's pretty cool, that one.
Obviously, the black and white silver ones aren't bad too that you played in right here.
That's my favorite one of the after they changed. I'm not fans of the ones they have right now. I like the bow tie one the best.
Yeah, that's a nice looking jersey. And listen, talk to us a little bit about then, of course, going to LA. You're in LA, movie stars, actresses, all this stuff. How did you, and nice weather, you can go to the rink in flip flops, shorts. How did you keep it? Look at, there you go. Great Western Forum. Tell us how you kept it all together. Look at that look. I thought you were one of the bands. I thought it was like TikTok or whatever they call that. Band. Look at that.
I think I was like 21, 22 years old right there.
Okay, I got to ask you right off the fashion design, what's going on with the tie? Like that's pretty.
I came with a pink silk suit to the rink before, so that there is pretty quiet compared to what I used to wear at times. So yeah, I did it all. Yeah.
All right. So talk to us about obviously seeing the forum. That's got to bring back a lot of memories, right? And I know people can go on and read everything about you, Bernie. So what I want to do is kind of get some of those things that we don't normally hear about. But first, let's talk about that. You're walking in, and that was where your first game was it not?
Well, I played my first game on the road in Calgary, and then I come back. First game, I get called up. I played in the forum. The coach, we're losing 5-0, 6-0. He doesn't even put me on. So I never even got credit for a game. And that's what you're wondering, right? Like your coach, you're thinking your team's getting beat. So you got this young kid up. You might as well try him, see if he can play. And he sits me on the bench the whole night. So obviously he got fired, and, then I get called up a little bit later. But, yeah, playing the forum was actually pretty special. It was a pretty good spot.
My producer's falling asleep. My producer's falling asleep. And listen, we just changed the whole format to Gouche Live. Paul Rosen has now got his own show right after us. Paul, he'll be up here to say hello. He does a show called The Rosen Report, where he's talking about NHL players past, and of course, a lot of Olympians, sledge hockey and all that sort of stuff. So we're really looking forward to him coming on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. But I want to go back to you. Obviously, you played 1,127 games, 1,209 points, and you also added 118 games in the playoffs. Do you think they should also include the games played in the playoffs as how many games you played?
No, I want them how many goals I get, because I want to get to 500. I went to the minors my first 40 or 50 games, and I shouldn't have been there. I scored like 43 goals. So I either want those 43 goals, or I want my playoff goals so I get to 100. Or so I get to
500.
Yeah, I tell people, if they ask you how many goals scored in the NHL, I think it's like 517 or something, because
it is
playoffs are NHL too. So I'm going.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm gonna find out. I'll talk to one of my buddies at Hockey News, of course, and ask him, dig into that. Why is that? Because you did score 517 goals in the National Hockey League, and those 42 that you scored in the playoffs were big ones. Listen, obviously you were a dynamic goal scorer. You were multifaceted. You had talent oozing, and you got an opportunity to obviously get drafted to the LA Kings, which is really cool as a youngster going into Hollywood. Your first game in the forum, how was it? Like, did you know? Were you going like this rather than watching the puck and just seeing all the movie stars? Was it in those days? Was it as rampant as it was? Of course, when now today it's they do sellouts all the time.
Well, we didn't have them quite as many until Gretz came. When Gretz came, the forum was the place to be. I think we drew better than probably the Lakers at the time, and right there, it's the place to be. And we had them all. We had a few before, but not. But still, playing there, it's your first. That's your home arena. We probably had 10,000 season seat holders. Not many, but I mean, it was still a good place to play. And like I said, when Gretz came, it was unbelievable.
So tell us about one of the players that you played with, Danny Bonner. I got the opportunity to play with him. He was a player coach in the senior leagues in Manitoba after his career in that. Great story. Little short guy,
Yeah.
Feisty, always talking. I loved him dearly. Do you remember you guys had a pretty cool experience in the playoffs with him, and he scored a couple goals, and he wasn't a big time goal scorer.
Well, and that's the thing. Danny was just what you said, feisty guy. And he was with the Kings my first year when we beat the Oilers, and he kind of had the task of maybe checking Gretz or trying to stop him, whatever. And not that anybody can, but like you said, he's feisty guy, small guy, but worked hard. He gave 100% every night, and that's all you want. You probably look at it like limited talent-wise, right? But you got 100% of them every night, and that's guys. You take guys with heart and desire sometimes over talent anytime. Not that Danny didn't have talent. I'm just saying he had a bigger heart than he had talent. Let's put it that way.
I agree 100%. Hey, listen, you played in LA, of course, as we've talked about. New York Rangers. We had Ron Duguay, and we asked him the same question. Two of the most dynamic cities on the planet. Which one did you have the most fun off the ice? No details, just which one did you have the most fun off the ice?
Well, I know where Ron's going to go with that because that was New York for him. Mine was LA. I was there the longest, so I had a little better group of people on with than I did when I went to New York. But Ron and I work out good there because we both played in the same city. Both teams, so I know exactly where Ron's was, and
absolutely.
I West Coast.
And he said, "You don't have a share story for us, do you? Because he gave us a share story,
playmate stories, but he's got some pretty talented stories. Ron does. And one time, I'm not sure he shared that with you, but I will. Boy, yeah. Good looking man, let me tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Even at 63,
it came pretty easy for him.
You're talking about on the ice, of course. Hey, listen. Obviously, then you went to Edmonton. So you played. We know you played in Jersey. You got late into Chicago, San Jose. These are top level cities that you played in. When you were in LA, for example, and obviously, the stars were there. Of course, Gretzky was there, and it brought this. You scored 70 goals not playing on Gretzky line, so it just tells you how great of a prolific goal scorer you were, and you were a star among stars. Tell us, who was the coolest star you met in the dressing room that just walked in and said, "Hey," well, you didn't have to say his name or her name. "Hey, guys, how you doing?"
Yeah, probably Tom Hanks. Or Kevin Costner. I remember when I was with Chicago, and we won that game. I scored 4 goals. There's nothing better than going play against your old team. I scored 4 goals that night, and the security guy comes in and said, "Kirk Russell's outside. He wants to see you." And I said, "I ain't coming out unless Goldie's there." And she yells at me, "I'm here, I'm here." So, there's some John Candy. I spent 3 or 4 days with John, did a trip one time, played some golf, and there was some Rob Lowe. I seen Rob in New York, but I went to Saturday Night Live with Tom Hanks. I'm sure we've seen that. They wore my jersey on the set.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to leave some out. Some athletes. Magic Johnson used to hang there with him a little bit. So. That was
great. Hey, listen, can I ask you? Obviously, you are one of 5 to have 150 points in a season. Obviously the goals, 70. Which one do you feel was your biggest accomplishment? Like those are two incredible accomplishments, Bernie. Which one would you say, are they equal, or did you just say, wow, 70 goals in a season? When you scored your 70th, are you looking around saying, holy, I just did that?
Yeah. Like, that was my second last game. It was the 79th game of the season, and I knew we weren't playing the next night. Gretz and I, there was some of us that weren't going to play the 80th game. So I was 3 goals short, and I was 5 points short. I had 3 goals and 2 assists that night for 5 points. My 70th goal. I don't know. Like, there's only 4 of us that ever got 150 points. So there's been 8 that scored 70 goals. So it's pretty tough. Which one's harder, right? 8 guys have scored 70 goals, and only 4 people have 150 points. So
yeah,
I put it up there equally. Like, to me, nothing better than the 70. It's like you can score 49 goals, but that 50th goal looks so much better. I could have scored 9 goals, but that 70 mark was pretty special. But I think it's tough. 150 points, to have only 4 people ever to do that, 4 or 5, it's unbelievable.
You know what? Also, I'm just going back in history, of course, playing for the Kingston Canadians in the OHL, 65 games, 63 goals, 89 points, 152 points.
Yeah. Obviously, I was fortunate to be able to do that, right? And so it's pretty cool. When you throw numbers at people to do that, like, when you look back, there'll never be another 70-goal scorer. And that's not to say that boys now aren't like Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby fan, Nathan McKinnon. There's so many talented players, but they'll never do that. And you give credit to the goaltender. Goaltenders are so good. They're such great athletes now, and it just never be done. I will probably go down as the last person to ever score 70 goals. And that'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind for another person to do it. I think it's great. It's a pretty good club to be in. If you're in that club with Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux, that's pretty good. Pretty good company.
Well, okay, you've mentioned some unbelievable names. It's always difficult when, I'm sure people ask you this all the time, who's the favorite player? Like who is, I don't want to know that. I want to know who is the best player you played against. Somebody that just, you said, wow, that's, I know you played against some of the names that you said, but is there somebody obscure that you just said, wow, he had talent? That was crazy.
Well, obviously I played with Gretz. I never played with Mario, and we all know what Mario can do. I've said this every time. My fiercest competitor was Mark Messier. Like, I absolutely hated playing against Mark. And I played against him when I was in LA. We played the Oilers so many times. I get to Jersey. He's in New York. Got to play against him there. Like, we had a great rivalry. And that was one of my most disappointing. When I got traded to Edmonton, like I've always said, and every Canadian boy should play in Canada. And trust me, playing in Edmonton was unbelievable for me, being Canadian. Every Canadian boy has to play somewhere in Canada. And for me, it was Edmonton, and it was awesome. I was disappointed just because who I got traded for. I would love to play with Mark. To me, there wasn't a fiercest competitor. He was tough. He was mean. He could score goals, tough on faceoffs. Had to go against him all night, and it just hated it. But that just shows the respect I have for him and just how good he was.
Yeah, there's another guy that's on the list of the the 5 that had 150 points, Steve Eiserman.
No, Stevie for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got to know Stevie quite well. He's one of my favorite people in the world. In the World Championships, we were roommates together. And so, I knew it was Steve. There was the 4 of us that year had it. Mario, Wayne, Stevie, and I. And then Phil had it before. So, unbelievable.
All right. So obviously you played in several cities. Everybody wants to know which was the favorite. Did you have one where you said, oh my God, I made a mistake?
No. One of my favorite cities was Chicago. I lived, I don't know if you've been to Chicago. I lived in the John building downtown. The 89th floor had a southwest corner. I had the whole city. I woke up before where the clouds were below my room, where I could just see tops of the clouds in Chicago. Chicago is the best sports city. We're in Michael's prime. We go to basketball games all the time when they were winning. Chelios, I've said this different times. If I could play with one guy my whole career, it'd be Chris Chelios. And there wasn't a fiercer competitor than him. That's the first time I ever started working out in my life, was when I was in Chicago with Chelly and Gary Suter, Joe Murphy. We would do push-ups, sit-ups in the sauna all the time. We'd go on the road, we'd hit a sauna, we'd work out before we go have dinner. And it was pretty special. Chicago was a great city, original six. For me, I hit New York and Chicago, 2 original 6 teams. I got to play in Canada, played in Edmonton. I got to play in LA, which was obviously one of the greatest places ever. I played in New Jersey, which may have been the best team we ever had, with Marty Brodeur, Scotty Stevens, Scotty Niedermeyer. The year we went against New York in 7 games, we should have won that series. I still say we should have won, but we didn't. Yeah. And got to play for Herb Brooks, and I got to play for Jacques Lemaire.
Hey, Bernie, let me just interrupt you there for a sec. Tell us the difference between New Jersey and New York, like as far as the living, the team, the atmosphere. Obviously, Madison Square Gardens. Was that a big difference?
Oh, absolutely. When we used to play New York, we played in the Brendan Byrne Arena, and it sat like 25,000 people. So we'd never fill it. But when we played New York, we'd fill it, but it'd be half full of New York fans, or maybe 3/4 full of New York fans, right? So it's just so much different. New York, you got Madison Square Gardens, greatest city in the world, the most famous arena in the world, right? So to go play there, great fans, really not necessarily loyal. They love their Hawks, or they love their Rangers. But I remember coming off the ice one night, we won 7 in a row, and we lost. And they're hissing John Van Briesberg. I think they want to kill this kid. We just lost the first game in 7, So New York was awesome to play there, because you're playing in, that famous arena. So every place you play is different. Like I love playing in San Jose. I don't know, for the first few years there, they sold out more than any other arena in the league, and great fans, great city to play in.
Fantastic city.
Yeah, like the Bay Area, there isn't. If you could pick one place in the world to live, if anybody's been there, that might be it.
Hey, there's a lot of comments on the right-hand side here. I just want to throw a couple out there. Wes Guilford. And Johnny Caver's a big fan of ours, and he remembers you being in the local paper with the Stanley Cup. So that's really great.
My town, West Guilford. I always tell everybody it's Halliburton, because no one knows West Guilford. West Guilford had about 70 people when I was growing up here. But I brought the cup home the year we won it when I was with the Kings. So that was pretty cool.
Great picture. Hey, listen, how many times did Tom Laylaw prank you while with LA?
I think I got Tommy more than he got me. That's the problem. I was probably one of the, I don't know if the worst, the best prankster. But I'm pretty sure I got Tom more than he got me.
Oh, we've had you on a couple of,
more than they got me.
And we've had you on a couple of celebrity games. I remember in Philadelphia and a couple other places I've been up here. You are one of those guys that just have a blast. You always got a smile on your face. Listen, is the rumor you're writing a book?
I am. Yeah.
Great. Can you tell us, can you just give us a little one sentence? What is the book telling us?
Well, I got Gretz to write the foreword for it, which obviously is great. Got quotes from Tom Hanks. A lot of people have told some stories in there, which is good, because my biggest problem is from concussions. I forget a lot. And so to have other people kind of mention things, then it hits you and you go, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So I think I'm not sure where we're going to start with it. Like, we've done a lot, talked to everybody where they're going to start, whether they start at the first here or when they start. I want them to start when I fly into LA, start there, and then kind of go back and forth from a kid, because I think a lot of times when you see books or something like that, or hockey stuff, they start at the bottom and then work your way up. I think they'll figure it out, and it'll be good.
Hey, it'd be great to see a front page with that pink suit you were talking to us about.
Well, you know what?
Or this one here. How about this one? This should be the front of the book.
I know. And I had one good one in New York, too. I was with a suit on skating, but that would have been pretty cool, too.
That's right. I remember that picture.
That might make it, too. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we got a couple more. Yeah, sorry. Cool,
no, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, we got a couple more comments here I want to get through, and then a good friend of yours wants to pop up and say hello. Listen, we are going to have you back if you don't mind, because we're doing this series. This is a brand new show for us. We're keeping them down to about 35 minutes, but I really wanted to get into the book, if you don't mind. I know you can't give us all the stories, but the concussion platform, obviously, it's a big deal with us. We do so much, and you've been so gracious with your time, working with us on all the different charity events. So I'd love to find out. Here's a great question from Bobby B, a big supporter of the show. What do you think hockey means to Californians? It's not the biggest show in town, but can it get there over time, or have we seen as far as it can go? Good question, because you were there before Gretz, and you saw what Gretz did. Now Gretz is gone, of course, and you moved on too. Give us a little chronological look at where we are with hockey for the Californians.
Well, obviously we started with not many. We had the Kings. They have a team in Anaheim now. They have a team in San Jose now that have done very well. The Ducks have won a cup. The LA's won 2. LA sold out most of the time. So I think hockey in California is as good as probably anywhere. LA's got great fan support. So I don't know. I think California hockey, the Bay Area, like you say, they're sold out every night for their team. So I think hockey's great in California. And for anybody, and especially come from Canada, right? You go play. Everybody's going, how do you play in California, the warm weather? Well, for people who play hockey, I played in Edmonton. We'd after a game, we'd have to start our trucks out there and wait, 20, 30 minutes because it's minus 40 below. You come out after a game in California, it's, you got your roof down and in your convertible, and you're driving home at 70 degrees. After practice in the daytime, you may go play golf, may go to the beach. So California hockey is spectacular.
All right, I got 2 questions just before we bring Paul Rosen up from the Rosen Report. Favorite arena to play in, you personally?
Oh, without a doubt, the Chicago Stadium, the old stadium was.
How loud is it?
Oh my God! You know what's so cool is people, unless they played there, you walk up like I don't know how many flights of stairs, 7 or 10, and then there's just like about 4 feet, but you stand there, and there's 22,000 people, and they're on top of you. Because such a small building, you got that organ playing, and it is so friggin' loud, spectacular. I remember with the Oilers, we're playing Chicago in the playoffs, the year Pittsburgh won in '92. I'm starting the game, and it is so friggin' loud. I have to put my head down. I start laughing. It was the coolest thing ever. The Chicago Stadium, not even close in my opinion, and that's coming to Maple Leaf Gardens or Montreal. Or even the old Forum, Chicago Stadium was spectacular.
All right, listen, last one. Obviously, we've asked you about the stadium. I want to know, like everybody talks to you guys about your hockey and all that sort of stuff. You're a pretty good golfer, I hear. Yeah, but if you could tell our viewers right now the best restaurant you ever ate in your entire life, and you say it's on a bucket list, if you're ever in X, you got to go to X.
Wow. Oh God, that's tough. Kenny Danico had a restaurant in New Jersey. It was spectacular, but I don't think he has it anymore. The place in Chicago, Charlie, we used to go there all the time. Steakhouse. off of oh God, what the heck is it? I'll have to think of it.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's a tough one because everywhere you go, like
It's crazy.
trust me,
Yeah,
I
you
hung with
always.
Gretsch for a year. Every night we went out, and some of the places you go eat, it's yeah. And
Yeah,
what's the one in LA that has all your pictures up there, cartoons and stuff? It's spectacular. So
I never
that's a
got
tough
there.
one.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you, I went to dinner with Gretzky, believe it or not. We had him over in Australia, and he invited us out to go to dinner, and he does it all on his own. He Googled it. He found it was called Mr. Wong's a Chinese. It was the greatest
Oh, yeah.
restaurant I'd ever eaten in, especially for Chinese food. So,
Yeah.
all right. Hey, listen, I know I'm going to get you back on. We're going to go, if you don't mind, a little bit into your book and more into your, into the concussion stuff. But for today, it's been really positive, really happy having you on. And of course, your buddy, Paul Rosen, want to pop up. He states you're one of his all-time favorites. I can also say, not that I ever really saw you play that much because I was over in Europe when it was happening. I can honestly say when we have charity events and you're around, you're the coolest dude. I love hanging with you.
That. Thanks, bud.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Rosen from the Rosen Report.
Hey, Bernie, how are you?
Good, bud. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I know you didn't play in Chicago long. I'm a massive Hawk fan, but man, if you would have played in Chicago a little longer, boy, it would have been unreal. I guess the only question I want to ask you is, what do you think the biggest difference in the game is now from when you played?
You know what? Honestly, and we touched on a little bit. The kids today are just bigger, faster, stronger. Like the game is so much faster. The equipment, the sticks that the guys use. I remember playing. Like, have you ever seen one of Gretz's Titan sticks? They weighed 8 pounds. My sticks, they're stiff, heavy, but that's what it is. That's all it is. Like, I don't think the kids are any smarter. They're not better goal scorers, but they're just so much faster. The game's just changed. Before, you'd play. You go in front of the net and they beat the shit out of you. They'd cross, you hammer, you get in the corner. I remember you coming over the blue line and a big defenseman, they just bear hug you and get away with it. Now, like, you can't even put your stick on another guy's stick. You can't whack them. Like, I'd stand in front of the net now. They're not going to touch me, and the power plays. Like, I remember the first year they come out with the new rules, 5-on-3. I remember watching the Toronto Maple Leafs. They had more 5-on-3s in 1 year than I had my whole career. Like, what would Preston Lemieux do today with all these power plays, like 5-on-3s? So that's all it is. Like, that's why you see a guy like Sidney Crosby or those guys. Their legs are so big and strong from the lower body down because guys can just push on them, and they can't grab them. Like those big defensemen back when they just bear hug you and pin you, and nothing you can do.
Bernie, can I ask you a question on the poll, off of polls? People, we had Mike Gardner on here, and you know how fast he was, and you're pretty quick. You're a pretty quick player too. Everybody thinks Connor McDavid's fast. He is. He's ultra fast. Let's not even suggest it. McKinnon too. But you know what? They get wound up. We saw a goal that he scored against the Toronto Maple Leafs where he swung at by his goal, and he goes. Nobody touches him.
Yeah.
He goes through the neutral zone. In your day, guys would be water skiing on you, right? They'd be hanging on to it for your dear life. So, and you didn't have. They don't have a red line anymore. No. You couldn't do those breakouts. Tell us about that, because that's arguably got to be the change in the game.
Yeah, and I've said this different times. Like, how Ovechkin comes down the left side, is off wing, and then turns into the middle and shoots, right? Scotty Stevens would lay that kid out. Like, he would absolutely knock him out. They can't do that in today's game. They've kind of taken the hitting out of the game, which to me is not right. I still say our guys back in the day, they policed it themselves, and now they don't. That's why there's a lot of this chicken shit stuff going on. Guys whacking you, hits from behind, this and that. And Kelly Chase said it best. He says, we never ran Stevie Eiserman and Fedorov because we'd have to deal with Proberg and Kosher, and who wants to do that? You know.
Of course.
So, yeah, I know I kind of get off it a little bit, but
That's all right.
yeah. So,
Hey, Bernie, are you in LA?
I'm home in Toronto, or like up in
Okay,
Melbourne.
because I was thinking, I'm thinking you're looking like.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, listen, just before we let you go, there's just a couple comments, some restaurant names. Bobby B, Paulie, our good buddy. Gibson, is that a name?
That's it.
All right.
I think
All right,
that's Shelly's favorite restaurant in Chicago.
All right, here's the next one. The Palm in LA.
Yeah, LA. That's it. The Palm.
Stephen Rosen, Paul's brother, comes up. I remember this. I had the coffee stick at one point, the Sherwood PMP 5030. That was the stick of the day. And then this is all the way from Tasmania, Australia. He comes, watches our show a lot. He's a big Bernie fan. It's a different game indeed today. A lot of young guys are saying this, but it's still a great game. You'll admit, too. What a great game.
Oh, this fight, like the overtime and stuff, the 3-on-3, and that's unbelievable. Like you could watch the 3-on-3 all day long. Like it's so exciting, right? And just the point that you mentioned earlier, right, about what happened to Toronto the other night. One of my first playoff series with Edmonton, we're down 5-0 with 12 minutes to go in the game. Miracle Manchester come back and won. And you mentioned it at the start of the show. When a team gets some momentum going, like if you're Toronto right now, after the game, I'm thinking in my mind, Joe Thornton goes into the ring or into the dressing room before the coach, or just say to Coach, I got it. Look, goes in and says, hey, boys, it's just a learning experience. That happened. You let a team get going, and so they come back and won. They'll never beat us again this year, right? It happens. You get no momentum going. It's like any sport. With the Patriots in the Super Bowl, they're down 28-3. Once they got going, you knew that they were going to win it. Like you can't stop some people. It's ridiculous. So
that momentum. When
you get Mo going, they're tough to stop, and it doesn't matter who it is. You're not even supposed to be playing. Like there's no chance in hell we should have come back and scored 6 goals on Edmonton and beat them, but we did. You know.
Paul, I'm going to give you a last question. I just want to ask Bernie, is that the Miracle on Manchester? Was that with was Danny Bonner playing that game?
Yeah.
And that's the one where I recall him. I see it vividly. We were in the dressing room when we played in the St. James Flames. I was on a line with him with Bobby Hull Jr.
Yeah.
He brought out this picture and he showed it to us, and he was on the front page of the LA. And basically. He had to guard Gretzky, but he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
And he said, I could have died. That's it. I'm done.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Who scored that winning goal? Was that Evans?
Daryl Evans, yeah. In overtime.
Yeah, Daryl Evans scored the winner. That was it. You guys, that was an insane game.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, we were the owner at the time, Jerry Buss, because he had his box in between both benches, and he had his entourage there. And after the second period, we come out for the third, and he's gone. He's somewhere down the road. He left with all his whole group. We come back and won. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, Bernie, listen, we can't thank you enough. I know next couple of weeks we're going to be doing a segment on concussions, and we'd love you if you don't mind to join us. We know you're an open book, and you show your vulnerability. You help us. You let us know what we can do for you anytime you need us, buddy. We're always there. I can't wait till we get out of this pandemic and we can get back on the ice for our Johnson & Johnson tournament. Thank you so much, buddy.
Okay, bud. Thanks.
Thanks, Bern.
Yeah, see you guys.
Take care.
What a class act. Love that guy. I didn't know he was up here.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen, you're in the Marcini studio.
I thought he was in California, but I guess the two kind of threw it that he was in Toronto.
No, that's a fashion statement. Hey, listen, he was on the Crown line. We forgot to mention that. But you know what? One of the things that, and you'll know this, just as we promote tomorrow, obviously you've got a big guest coming on the Rosen Report. It is somebody's birthday. It's his 58th birthday. Can you guess it? I did not know this. Our reporter, our producer, 58 today. One of the all-time greatest basketball players ever. You got it. There you go. It's 58.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when LA was down 5-0 and they came back and Daryl Evans scored the winner to go up 6-5. That was insane.
Yeah. It was
He did the
incredible.
dance. He did that dance across the ice, that running dance.
And you know what?
Yep.
They were in those beautiful yellow jerseys.
Yeah.
Because my buddy, I was saying, Dan Bonner had scored the goal, or 2 goals against Gretzky, and he was supposed to be only checking Gretzky, but he scored. They had a picture. Do you remember the days when they had colored pictures in the newspaper? Yeah, he had to bring the whole thing out and pretend he was somebody. All right, tell us about tomorrow, bud.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Brent Sopel, a good friend and Stanley Cup champion with the Chicago Blackhawks, will be on. We'll be talking about his career. We'll be talking about his foundation, dyslexia. It should be a real good show. Looking forward to it.
All right, that's 4:30 tomorrow, right after Gouche Live. So you got Gouche Live, and then right after that, we've got Paul Rosen with the Rosen Report. Really looking forward to it, buddy.
Yep, me too. Absolutely.
Great show yesterday with Brady, too. Hey, and we got to the studio today. We got the studio looking up pretty good. Dakota paint dried overnight, so that looks great.
Yeah, I got the sweaters. We're going to put my sweaters up. It's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to my second Rosie's rant. I'm not going to give it away. It's going to be a surprise Rosie's rant about the Toronto Maple Leafs.
All right, look forward to it. Okay, Rosie, we'll see you tomorrow, bud.
Take care. Have a good show. Bye.
You got it. Paul Rosen from the Rosen Report in the Mercedes studio. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching the show. I know that I got Val popping up here for a second. I want to thank him personally for all that he's done, not only for Paul and myself, but I know, look at the great graphics that he's put together for us. There's a lot more coming as we certainly build this, the Gouche Live, and of course the Rosen Report. We're still going to be doing stuff together. Paul's going to bring you a different angle on sport, as you know, his playing career, and of course I'm going to bring you some fashion. We're going to get into some fashion lifestyles. We're going to get in the rich and famous, some of the vacations that they do, as we started out to do. So we're going to get all that, and I know Rosie's got a great top 5 or rapid fire 5 questions that he's going to put to all of his guests. So we're really excited about that. All right, as we end the show, Al, what's going on, kid?
Not much, man. Great interview. I'm still looking for that photo with the pink suit. I have not forgotten since the last time we had Bernie on. Hey, listen, that's one of my missions.
Pull up the one with him skating in his...
tuxedo when he was with New York Rangers?
Yeah. I think we interviewed him one time and you pulled that up.
Yeah. That I actually have this hockey card. When the Upper Deck had their first set out.
What a nice guy. And you know what? He has mentioned to us he's done. Look at that. Look at the flowing hair. He's got hair like I do now.
Yeah. For
Paul's jealous. Here, let's bring Rosie up. Rosie, you jealous? Look at that hair. Look at that flow back there.
Oh, even when I had hair, it wasn't like that.
Hey, listen, Val, tell us a little bit about what's going on. You've done a great job on all the new logos. The soundtrack from Andrei Shevchenko has done a great job. I know there's a lot more. We're getting some engagement stuff going on. I know you're going to start pulling up some videos, and we'll break down some videos and stuff. You got a lot of great things going on for Gouche Live and the Rosen Report.
Yeah, looking forward to a lot of new fun stuff. I mean, we're actually going to kick off a new segment today. If you and Paul would like to try it out, it'll be a 5-minute thing. It's called Trade 'em, Re-sign 'em, or Release 'em.
Oh my God, I didn't know about this.
Right? So listen, we'll start off with I'm going to give you 3 names.
Hang on. Stop for a second. Who's running this show? Look at this.
I thought it'd be a fun new segment.
Look at this. The MVP of the show, Val.
Thank you, Barry. Always a fan.
All right, let's do it.
Always appreciate it. So it's called Trade 'em, Re-sign 'em, or Release 'em. I'm going to give you 3 players, and then you have to decide who you're going to trade, who you're going to re-sign, and who you're going to release.
Paul goes first.
Okay, Paul can go first. We're going to start off with a few of the names that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. So Paul, you have Patrick Laine, William Nylander, and Dubois at their current teams, right now. Okay. Who do you trade? Who do you resign, and who do you release outright from your team?
Okay.
Laine?
So
Nylander, and Dubois.
Okay. So I re-sign Laine.
Okay.
I trade Dubois, and I outright release Nylander.
Okay. Any reason? Quick reasons why for either one of them?
you know what? I've never been, and Nylander, the Leaf fans will go nuts on me. I've never been a fan of his. They're never going to release him. But I really think Laine, once they get rid of, he's the guy you re-sign, because I think once they get rid of Tortorella, he's going to have a great career with Columbus. I wouldn't trade Dubois, but you've given me no choice. I have to do one of them as trade.
That's the fun part about it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have
those are all perfect answers, Kerry. Who do you trade? Nylander. So you have trade, release, or resign. Laine, Nylander, Dubois.
all three of them. They're gone. Oh no! So I got to pick one. Okay, I got
pick
it.
one or the other. Who do you trade?
Nylander's gone.
Okay. Who do you resign?
Laine.
And I guess you outright release Dubois.
Okay, let me go. Start over. Now I get the game. It took me a while. Listen, Nylander's released, whatever that is, unrestricted release.
It's like bye-bye.
So he's doing the same as me.
No, I'm not. I'm going to trade Laine.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep the block.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough. Reasons behind either one of those?
Yes, because I don't think Laine is the player I thought he was. Going into Columbus, regardless of all the stuff that we're seeing there, I just don't think he's a team player. Again, we haven't seen enough about Dubois, but I have spoken to some people in Winnipeg. Nicest guy in the world, great in the dressing room. Obviously, unfortunate he's hurt right at this particular moment. It's going to take us maybe 2 or 3 months to see what he's about. But I just think there's more. Myself personally, watching this all play out, I think, and I know people are going to think I'm nuts.
Okay.
I think Dubois has the biggest upside of the three.
All right.
I don't disagree with you. I think Dubois is incredible. I love the upside with him. We were given 3 options, so I had to do something.
It's just 3 options.
Oh, really?
You got to decide who you want to do. It's just a quick little thing.
And really quickly, that's even when Laine scores 40 goals. Because I think Dubois is going to be that 25, 30 goal man, and he's just going to bring a lot more to the Winnipeg Jets than what Laine's going to do for Columbus after Torts is gone. All right, next.
I don't disagree with you, and I think he's a big guy and he can play both ends of the rink.
Is that it?
You want to go one more round?
One more round. Let's do one more round.
Okay, so here's the fun part. Okay, hold on. Since we'll get back to what we've been talking the last couple of weeks before we kicked off our new shows. This one's a little have a little fun. Trade, re-sign, and release.
Jesus.
Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Ovechkin.
Oh my God! You can't release any of those.
No.
Yes.
Just part of the fun of the game.
You want me to go first, Paul?
All right. So then I trade Ovechkin, I release Malkin, and I re-sign Crosby.
Fair enough. Kerry?
I trade Sidney. Crosby. I trade Crosby because he deserves it.
Okay.
You want to trade?
I release Ovechkin.
Ooh.
And I re-sign Malkin.
Okay.
You got a choice of the 3 of them, so that's why it makes it fun.
No, but again, it's all a personal thing, right? I love Sidney Crosby. I'll go on the record. Malcolm, I don't think if you don't re-sign Malkin, you lose him. He's gone.
Yeah, he's going back to Russia.
But you get nothing for him, Paul.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know.
The issue that I
have. You're talking 3 superstars there. That one of them has to.
I gotta keep it even.
And,
I can't throw in Nylander with Ovechkin and Sid, right? That makes no sense.
No.
Same playing field.
Malkin's gone after the season. If he doesn't get re-signed, he's gone. So he's still an asset. Watched the game last night, even though they lost. He's still, he's not Crosby, he's not Ovechkin, but at least you can hold a valuable asset and trade. You're not going to get much for Malkin, but you're going to get a bucket load with Crosby. Letting go Ovechkin is really tough for me to say, but
I know, both. That's a tough one. So
yeah.
I thought for sure you would have let go Malkin like Paul did, right, and kept Ovi and things.
Because you're going to get nothing for him. He's gone again. That you get that same situation with Ovechkin. So hey, listen, it's only a game.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answers. This is fun. It's to have some fun debate amongst yourselves and the fans out there that are watching. So
this is a really good statement by Chuck. You got to think like a GM in that city with what they bring to the front. No question. No question. I don't disagree with that, but we can have fun and be silly.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Trade Crosby, release Mel, re-sign Ovi.
Re-sign Ovi. There you go.
See you tomorrow. Look forward to seeing
See you guys. Bye, guys.
on the World
Yep.
Report. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
See you, Paul.
That was good. You know what? We'll do that every show. We'll just come up and do a couple. Okay, just before we leave, I know we wanted to keep it under 45 minutes today. We're just a couple of minutes over. Hey, listen, Bernie was absolutely fantastic to have around. Thanks, Chuck. Ovechkin is too, no question. Lucky, thank you for some of your ideas. These ideas were in the pipeline already. Lucky gave me a kind of a reading through of a great list of, he's got some really good ideas, and we're going to incorporate some of them. Lucky, thank you. I haven't even showed Val that yet. Hey, listen, it's a fun show. The Gouche Live is about finding out more. Let's find out what they like. Hey, is this a Boss suit? No, I got it at Winners. What's their favorite watch? Do you think it's a Rolex or is it a Breitling? Let's find out that stuff, because you know what? You can't find that out on the internet. So that's where we're going to go. The restaurants they love, all that type of stuff.
For sure. I'm a big foodie myself. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up with games tonight.
All right.
Where are you at?
Okay, so we're gonna do the Canadian teams since it's Hockey Day in Canada once again.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna have the return matchup from Ottawa versus Toronto. Terry?
I think it's gonna be a blowout. I think Ottawa's gonna win. I think it's either going to be close for Ottawa again, but I really believe that Toronto's going to blow them out. I think they have to. It's a statement game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. If they don't come and perform at their highest level, I think, and people oh my God, Tavares.
Yeah.
As what Bernie said, it can happen. There are games where it just happens, and you can't stop that tsunami of momentum. So give him a break. He is a good captain. He's a leader. And I think one of the sports guys, I won't say his name, said, "Oh, he lost the puck. That's not leadership." Hey, you know what?
Game.
You spelled a word wrong once. Come on, give it a rest. All right, so 5-2 Toronto.
All right, I say it's going to be, like you said, a statement game. I got 6-0 Leafs. I think Anderson bounces back.
Oh, that's crazy. Hey, Lucky, if you're still on, I want to see your score. Hey, Chuck, come on, guys. Bobby B, let's see some scores here. Anthony, 3-2 Leafs, overtime.
That's a close one.
Wrong.
Okay,
Love you, Anthony.
Let's jump over to the West Coast. We got Vancouver and Calgary going at it for the umpteenth time. And if I'm not mistaken, the Flames are at home.
Yes, I think it's also a statement game. I think Vancouver's been playing better, as you've seen. But I think if Calgary's going to stay in this thing, they are going to definitely need to do a number on Vancouver. Again, I hate this. I'm starting to sound like Berkey coming up. It's truculence. I think it's a statement game for the Calgary Flames. Tonight, they have to come and they have to play one of their best games just to set it together, set it out there.
So, and who are you picking?
Vancouver. No, I'm going for Randy Osborne, my good friend out in Calgary, -45. I'm going to say they need to warm things up there. So I'm going to go with a 4-1 win for the Calgary Flames.
Okay. I mean, the Flames have beaten Vancouver 5 of the last 6 games that they've played this season. I'm going to go 5-2 Flames. I think Vancouver gets another rout.
All right, well, I doubt it, but good try. Hey, listen, Steven Rosen, Hawks beat the Wings 5-2. That wasn't even an option.
It's okay.
Option. All right, Hawks beat the Wings. Great game last night.
And they play again tonight, too.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I think the Wings take it. I think they go 3-2.
Yeah, the reverse of last night. Yeah, you know what? 3-2 Toronto. Toronto. Sorry, 3-2 Wings, for sure.
Robert Wine, go to decaf, kid. Go to decaf. When you go and get doubles, make sure it's a decaf. Ottawa will take it 3-1. Okay, right here, right now, you all hear it. Robert Wine, you and I have a bet. I say Toronto beats Ottawa. You say Ottawa beats Toronto. It's for a coffee. It's for a double-double. And you know what's unbelievable is the reference I made. Thank you for bringing it up. Stutzla Hossa, we should ask Paul about that because, he's a big Hawks fan. All right. Anthony, thank you. 5-3 Calgary. I think you're on the same wavelength. And Calgary very hungry for it. So they'll take it, but not a sweep. 3-1. Not sure what the sweep is.
I guess that's the season series of the 8 games they're playing every day this year. Okay, let's go to your hometown Jets.
Yes, they are.
Versus the Edmonton Oilers.
That was a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of game, right?
Yeah.
Jets looked strong. It looked like there could have been an upset also. Upset meaning that, Winnipeg definitely had the game in hand, back and forth. I think it's really important that the Jets, and you know what? Draisaitl and McDavid's playing well, good points and all that sort of stuff, just assist. They're going to have a breakout game here soon because they haven't been on the goal scoring tally for a while. I'm not betting with my head. I'm betting with my heart. I think it's going to be 5-3 Winnipeg.
Ooh, okay. 5-3 Jets. I will go the opposite. I'm going to go with the Oilers. I think Mike Smith's been playing well ever since he got back from injury. He's also displaying a new lid today in the games. Is really cool. I'm going to go 3-1 Edmonton.
All right. And the only reason why I say that you have no idea what you're talking about, I think the bubble's been broken for Smitty. I think he played as good as he could. I think he's in a little bit of trouble. All right.
It's one game. What are you going to do?
You're on. Robert Wine and I got to bed. Hey, listen, guys, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for that new addition to the show. We're going to be adding more things, make it fun, engagement. We're actually going to get fans to come on coming back next week. We're going to have you as a fan can come on and ask the question to one of our great people. Hey, listen, what a lineup. Think about this. Tomorrow, I've got Ray Neufeld, obviously Black Month. Hockey, obviously, we're talking that with him. Ray Neufeld, one of the toughest guys, one of the grittiest forward, 20-goal seasons, great player. Winnipeg Jets, of course, Boston Bruins. Really looking forward to him. Articulate. This guy's a really sharp guy that we're going to have on. And then Cameron Hughes. Yeah, super fan. He's here Friday. Super fan is on Gouche Live. You got to watch this interview. This guy's a whack job, and I love it. And, of course, on Saturday, we've got our Talking with Taylor, and then Kevin Shea. Sunday, we're talking hockey historians, Black Hockey Month in the National Hockey League, of course, and you got to watch this show. We are going to be talking to Bernice Carnegie and possibly Todd Carnegie.
Oh, wow. Definitely we'll be there for that one.
And we're going to talk about the top 5 influencers of the game. Of course, we got Willie O'Ree, Grant Fuhrer, of course, as a goaltender, and, of course, Mr. Carnegie. We owe a lot to him for not only being the first Black player, but also a true inspiration. Started the first actual hockey school, and we're really indebted to him. All right, until tomorrow, you've been watching Gouche Live. It's our sports talk show. I got my producer, Val Silva. We've got some great things coming for you guys. Buckle up, get ready. And tomorrow, Brent Sopel with Paul Rosen on The Rosen Report. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to Gouche Live with your host, Kerry Goulet, better known as The Gouche, brought to you by the Hockey News and Sports Illustrated.